The Show 26 is finally here after what feels like forever of waiting for this game. I am so excited to get into this game and grind everything and play everything. But in today's video, we're going to start off with a beginner's guide because with every new game comes a bunch of new players that are completely unfamiliar with everything in the game. They don't know everything about collections. They don't know everything about this, about everything within the game. New players are not going to fully understand. So that is why we are bringing the beginner's guide to collections, live series collections, Legends and Flashback collections, and I kind of want to run through and help you guys out, people that have never done this before. Those of you that have never done collections, never really played Diamond Dynasty, if you guys are just picking up MLB The Show for the first time this year, or maybe if you haven't even played MLB The Show in a few years and this is your first game coming back. So essentially, collections are one of the biggest things in MLB The Show. It's something everybody looks forward to. It's kind of like the, I would say, meat and potatoes of kind of getting excited for MLB The Show once they reveal certain things. It's kind of what everybody builds up their stub count, which is the in-game currency that we can talk about later. Kind of like, I feel like everybody just gets excited for collections and whatnot. So the first thing is, and I will say the UI this year is completely different, and I'm not sure if I really like it right away. It's going to take me a minute to get used to something like this. The first thing you guys want to do if you guys are interested in collections or want to kind of, work towards them a little bit is go over to the collect tab, which is all the way over to the right on the R1, L1 screen up here at the top. You're going to want to scroll through. Some of these are kind of like real quick and easy. I know you guys can't see with my face came in the way, but the first one that shows is the starter program, or sorry, the starter collection. Then we got the live series collection, which is the biggest one that everybody gets excited for. We have a Legends and Flashbacks one as well, which throughout the year is kind of, they usually release a lot of, the big guys as well. Some of like the best cards in the game are usually behind Legend and Flashbacks. We also have one here for like the XP reward path, which is something else in the game that we can talk about later. We also have like the GOAT and the My Legacy, which is just kind of stuff that you collect while playing the game. Uniforms, unlockables, and equipment as well, which are kind of, you don't get too much crazy stuff out of here, but you can get free packs, you can get some stubs in there as well. So if you go over to the live series, this is where you're going to be able to collect especially the best cards in the game early on in the game. I mean, Tulowitzki, this card is going to be one of the best cards for a very long time. Usually the live series collection cards are some of the best cards pretty much all year long, but I think Tulo is going to be a great card for a very long time. The contact is incredible. Vision, clutch, power. The fielding. This is a 5-tool card. He's got 80 speed, especially with all the new mods that you can add to cards as well. I feel like this card is going to be really, really good for a very long time. Then for collecting every single live series NL player, you get 99 Albert Pujols, which is back in the game this year as a new legend. Not to mention, I know you guys can't see once again, but the card art for these cards, man, are incredible. The red diamond at the top is insanely nice. But yeah, I mean, this card is really, really good too. We can play third base, left field, third base, left field, right field, primary first baseman, of course. For collecting every single every single AL card, you get 99 Felix Hernandez for the Seattle Mariners. Also a returning guy, if you guys are new to the game. He used to be in MLB The Show when he was a live player, before he was retired. He is back as a legend, and this card looks really good. The last time we saw Felix, I believe, was MLB The Show 21, and he was nasty. He was usually one of the best pitchers in the game every single year. Sinker cutter is a huge meta in MLB The Show, and he always has those two pitches. Yeah, essentially what you are going to want to do, so you guys can see on the left side of the screen right here, for each individual team, there is a card that you can collect for collecting, where you guys see it says 0 out of 40. You're going to want to, so this is just the Minnesota Twins as an example. You're going to want to click on that team that you want to collect. You will end up having to collect every single player on their 40-man roster, which I believe is, I think that's what they base it off of. There's always 40 players that you have to collect for every single team, and I believe that's just based off the 40-man roster. Now, I will say early in the game, some of these collections are going to be less expensive than others. Obviously, like I said, this is all, you could buy these cards through stubs. You can get these cards through packs for free, of course. A team like the Minnesota Twins, they have a lot of commons. They got a lot of bronzes in here as well. But they do have somebody like Byron Buxton, which if you look, his stub value right now is only 7K, which honestly is not that bad. Or sorry, he has no buy now or sell now right now, so I'm assuming his price is going to be a little bit higher once that number changes a little bit, because Byron Buxton is usually pretty damn good. But yeah, so essentially what you're going to want to do is collect every single card for every single individual 40-man roster. Up here at the top, you can get, for collecting every single Minnesota Twin team, or sorry, every single player on the Minnesota Twins, you get an 89 overall Joe Mauer. And this card early in the game will go really well on your team. I would assume for a team like the Minnesota Twins, I would assume it's probably going to be like, maybe like you're probably looking at like 30-40K worth of stubs early on in the game, because like I said, Byron Buxton, once his price once it's able to be shown on the game, I would assume his price is going to go up a little bit. Some of these other guys, though, these guys are probably going to be relatively cheap. You're looking at maybe some of these bronzes, you know, maybe 100, 150, 200 stubs or so. Some of these commons are going to be pretty cheap as well. So essentially, you are going to want to collect. Now, if we're using the AL Central as an example, because I know you guys can see this on the screen. If we're using the AL Central as an example, you are going to want to collect all 5 teams, and you get 1 reward for every single team, which is usually based on how good the team is. Like you see, the Chicago White Sox over here is only an 80 overall reward, Larry Doby. That is because the White Sox don't have that great of a team. It should be a cheaper collection to get done. But if you look at a team like the Cleveland Guardians, who have Jose Ramirez, which is going to be one of the better cards in the game for quite a while, 90 overall J-Ram, you're going to unlock this 91 overall Lou Boudreau, which is one of the better cards for collections, at least to get early in the game. So yeah, essentially you're going to want to collect all 5 of the teams for each division, and that'll unlock a higher overall card. Then you will have to collect all 3 of those from each division, and that will go towards the American League player. So yeah, essentially you need to collect all 30 American League players through all 30 teams, where you collect 40 players from every single team. I mean, it's going to take you quite a while to get some of this stuff done. I would say, you know, if you play your cards right, you could probably get it done within the first month, maybe month and a half or so of the game. I remember last year, I got really, really lucky with a lot of stuff, so I got things done in, I would say, like May. I think it was like May or so of the game. Now, other people might not be as lucky, especially with pack pulls and stuff like that. Another thing I would suggest, if you're looking to try to get some of these collections done, you're going to want to save your stubs. Now, that requires never buying packs in the game, grinding a lot of offline stuff. You're going to want to do conquests. You're going to want to do mini seasons. You're going to want to do diamond quests. You're going to get a lot of stubs from that stuff as well. So yeah, I mean, pretty much every single player mode will get you a lot of stubs. They're going to get you a lot of free packs there too. And I mean, this is all offline stuff that you guys can do that'll, you know, it'll help you get better at the game. You're going to be able to see some pitches, try out some new cards, of course. But yeah, I mean, Diamond Quest was an addition last year. I guess we can go through the little quick tutorial here, because I have not done that yet. But yeah, this is a fairly quick and easy grind. I kind of enjoyed it in last year's game, and you will be able to get some of these rewards here as well, which are lower tier diamonds that'll help your team early in the game, of course. As you can see, you can get some Ballin' as a Habit packs throughout it as well. You're going to be able to get some live series standard packs, which all of those packs, you know, if you build up those packs, build up those cards, all of those cards can go towards your MLB Live Series collection. Even if we move over to mini seasons, this is essentially, so see, this one this year is going to be something different, but this is a World Baseball Classic mini seasons. It's essentially a 28 game season where you go through and you play 3 inning games, or you can play 9 innings if you would like to. Able to unlock a lot of these cards, some XP, some stubs. You're going to be able to get some free diamonds early in the game, which all will help go towards collections, whether that's live series collections, whether that's legends and flashbacks. And then even here, once you win the mini seasons championship, you get 10 standard packs, 1 Ballin' as a Habit pack on top of that. And I would say, with the new changes that they've made in mini seasons this year, I would say that you're going to be able to get through this stuff pretty quickly. And this is repeatable. So if you're somebody that enjoys the offline grind, kind of just chilling, playing casually, you can just kind of chill and sit back and maybe throw on a YouTube video, throw on whatever. You guys can get through this and play it repeatably, and you're going to be able to get a lot of packs, a lot of stubs, build up those Ballin' as a Habit packs. And yeah, like I said, you rip all those packs, you're going to get a lot of live series guys. You're going to get some guys that will sell for some stubs as well. So yeah, all of these single player modes in the single player tab are going to help you collect free packs, free stubs, free XP, which will help you in other places in the game too. I'm going to suggest one more thing for you guys. Like I said, it is very important that you guys save as many packs as you can. Never buy packs in the shop. Unless you have like a super surplus amount of packs, or sorry, a super surplus amount of stubs, and you kind of want to throw one or a couple into some packs once in a while just to test your luck, I guess that's okay. I would personally recommend not buying any packs. I just find that the odds are never in your favor. You end up wasting stubs. Sometimes you buy one pack and then you want to go back for another because you get addicted. And, pack addiction is a real thing. But I would suggest trying to keep as many packs as you can, trying to build up your stubs as best as you can. Like I said, just playing pretty much anything in the game is going to get you stubs. You're going to get stuff done. The XP reward path this year is a little bit different, and I really like the changes that they made. See, certain cards that you collect through the XP reward path this year, you can sell these guys. So, I mean, these guys right here, Gleyber Torres' quick sell value is only 2,700, but he will get a certain value once the marketplace kind of updates a little bit. By the time you guys see this, I would assume it'll be updated a little bit, but some of these guys you're going to be able to sell for a decent amount of stubs. And the further you get through this, the quicker that you get through this, the quicker you get those cards and the more stubs you can sell them for. Buy them back later. If you say you get to this Kyle Schwarber card and you really want to save this card, you really want to keep him, you really want to use him, buy him back later when his price is a lot lower than what you sold it for. That way you make that stubs, that amount of stubs in between selling and buying back. I think that's a very important thing that a lot of people don't do, is whenever they collect cards that are able to be sold, they don't sell them right away. I've always felt like, in the past when events were a thing, or BR, when you would collect certain cards and you didn't sell them, you were just limiting yourself because you weren't getting any stubs from them. Further into the game, they're going to end up doing a lot of rewind packs too. So if you get to this Kyle Schwarber and you don't care about even buying him back, and say he sells for 50K, that's just a hypothetical number, but say he sells for like 50K, you're going to get 50K and you don't care about buying him back. That's 50K. Instead of buying him back for like 25K, you're only going to get 25K. This later into the game, they're going to end up doing like rewind packs. Of course, we always get that every single year, where they bring back previous cards that they released into kind of like a free pack usually. And by that time, the prices are extremely low. So like I said, if you get to somebody like Kyle Schwarber, you get to some of these other guys throughout the XP reward path that you really don't care if you use them or even keep those cards, you can sell them for a decent amount of stubs early on in the game. As soon as you get those cards, it is important to sell some of those guys. And like I said, if you want to get them later, buy them back later when they're a lot cheaper. That is going to help you a lot with your stubs. Another thing that I will say quickly before we wrap up here is when you go over to your inventory back in the collect tab all the way to the right, you can look through your MLB players. This is going to show you all your live series cards that you do have. See at the top, I know you guys can't really see, but I have 2 of 40 for the Baltimore Orioles. This just transcends over to the 40 players that I had mentioned earlier. One thing that is very important is if you have duplicate cards. Now, I'm not talking about like duplicate diamonds, duplicate golds, whatever, but I guess you could kind of consider that too. If you have duplicate cards, it is very important to try to sell those guys for as much stubs as you can. And I will always recommend to put in like sell orders instead of, see, if you see up on the top right, it says buy now and sell now. If you sell a card for the 30 stubs, you're wasting a lot of stubs. If you put in an order on the community market to sell him for like 96 stubs, someone will buy him for 96, which is lower than the 97. And I know this is a lot of confusing information, but if you sell him for 96, you will get taxed in the market. Unfortunately, MLB The Show works that way. You'll end up getting, I would say, probably like 60, 70 stubs, which is a lot higher than 30 for every single card in here. Like I said, I know there's a lot of confusing information, but trying to explain some of this stuff to a completely new player is a little bit difficult sometimes because I've known this stuff for so long and it's just kind of like in my brain. So trying to like kind of like compile all this information in one video is kind of tough, but I know that, like I said, there's every single year there's a lot of new players that come into MLB The Show. Diamond Dynasty is like the first thing they want to do, and they're not really sure how to go about collections. They don't know what they want to do with their stubs, don't know how to save them, don't know how to save packs. They might pull a card out of a pack and they don't know what they want to do with it, whether or not they want to sell it, keep it, maybe try out the card, and then they end up keeping it in their collection. They don't even know if they want that card or not. There's a lot of players that I see out there that take a long time to go through their inventory and sell a bunch of cards And those just build up over time, and then that's a bunch of stubs that's just sitting there in your inventory, in your backpack, that you guys can just get a bunch of stubs that way. So like I said, it is very important that you guys do a lot of the offline stuff. Get as many stubs as you can, get as many players as you can, get as many packs as you can. And yeah, like I said, I mean, eventually you're going to get a lot of packs that you can just open for free. And then yeah, all of those are going to get you players, and like I said, I mean, eventually you're going to get those cards done, you're going to get collections done. It might take you a little while. I'm hoping that mine doesn't take too long this year. Obviously, if you pull some good cards out of some packs, like I said, you want to test your luck once in a while. That would help a lot for sure if you could get something nice. If you could pull a Shohei Ohtani, if you get an Aaron Judge, who is extremely expensive as always. Another thing you could do is just put your credit card information on the game. I'm kidding. I don't put any of that stuff in the game. I don't like to buy stubs myself. It's your own money. If you want to buy stubs, go for it by all means. But yeah, hopefully, I know, like I said, I know that was a little confusing. There was a lot of information I was kind of throwing around there. I was seeing certain things in the game that was kind of reminding me about something I kind of wanted to bring up. Yeah, hopefully that helps you guys a little bit with collections. If you guys are a new player at MLB The Show, Diamond Dynasty, whatever, if you guys are trying to kind of dive into certain things, you see those collection cards, those are good diamonds early in the game, and you kind of want those guys right away, but you don't really know how to go about it. Hopefully this video helped you guys a little bit, and without further ado, we'll see you guys in the next one.